I was doing bad in the SEC, and struggling, they hit me up and said,
"This is tampering at its finest," and the sad reality of the situation is the NCAA won't do anything about it, and I don't know if they can do anything about it moving forward. And you want to know the saddest part about all this? This is just one of the situations that we know about. Think about everything else that goes on behind the scenes. Well, what do we have here? Tampering in college football? No, it can't be. There's no tampering in college football. No. They must have got the wrong sport here, because college football is a sport of high integrity of honor. What are they talking about? Everybody knows there's no cheating whatsoever in the sport of college football. None of it. On a serious note here, I wish I could have that attitude and perspective. I wish I could sit up here and say I'm shocked by this, but I'm not. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Cheating, it's been going on in college football for years now, and if you don't think your favorite team's tampering, you've lost your mind. Everybody cheats and everybody tampers to a certain degree, some worse than others. So let's get that out there right now before somebody tries to go to the comment section and say, "Oh, well, Matt's got it out for this team." No, I'm telling you right now, everybody does it. In today's video, though, here's the funny part about this. It's not accusations. The said player who was tampered with, he snitched on himself. Or not snitched on himself, that's a bad way of putting it. He snitched on the team that was involved in this tampering scheme. And I'll be upfront and honest with y'all at the very beginning of this video, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. I don't like this a single bit. We got a lot to talk about there. We also got some breaking news that's coming out. Might as well cover it a little bit. That Jim Harbaugh, he's about to bounce. We may also read off some comments on the previous videos that you guys have left, because I like seeing what you guys got to say. Simple as that. I'm excited to get in this one. I really am. Hope you guys had a great Tuesday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. We got a long off season ahead of us, and if you want to be caught up to date on all the college football news that's going on, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you here. But all right, Matt, blah, blah, shut the crap up. Now, after that, dope. All right, first things first, let's get this out of the way. Jim Harbaugh, he is back with the LA Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers, whatever you want to call them, for a second straight meeting. And it is being reported and stated, quote unquote, that Jim Harbaugh is in striking distance to get a deal done. That's all we know right now. If any news comes out, I'll keep you guys up to date, so stay tuned for that. As to where it stands right now, if you want my 2 cents, yes, I believe it's all but a done deal. I don't know if he's going to become the head coach for the Chargers, but I'm 98% sure he's leaving Michigan. There's just no reason to stay there, and plus Michigan's about to get hit hard with these NCAA sanctions that come out in about 3, 4, 5 years. And for those of you that don't know Jim Harbaugh, one thing that's on his bucket list, and he hasn't checked it off yet, is winning a Super Bowl. This isn't some secret information. It's been made public, and I expect him to go back to the NFL. I would love to talk about that some more, but we are going to move on to the main topic, the main encore, main reason you clicked onto this video. What in the world is going on with this quote-unquote tampering situation? Well, I don't even know why I put quote-unquote around it, because it is tampering. You can't deny it. Let me catch you up to speed here. Alabama won their starting offensive lineman this year, Caden Proctor. He winds up entering the transfer portal. And all year long, he had we'll just say a wishy-washy season. He wasn't too great. It is worth throwing in there. He's a young guy, though, and he was developing this year. So I didn't expect him to be all too good, and nobody else did either. And he was struggling this year, and even without Nick Saban retiring, everybody thought he was going to enter the transfer portal. Long story short, that's what he winds up doing, and he winds up committing to Iowa. If you know anything about Caden Proctor, you knew he was more than likely going to go here, because he was actually committed to Iowa before he wound up flipping to Alabama. It just made a ton of sense, and nobody thought too much about it. At least, that was up until this video came out. Caden Proctor was interviewed at what I believe, it was an Iowa basketball game. And I'll let him take it from here. Matt wrote a clip. And oh yeah, let me give you some context, Matt, you idiot. Sorry, he was asked about why he wound up deciding to pick Iowa. Now that you've given him some context, Matt, you idiot, wrote a clip.
No bridges were burnt, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it was so easy for me to pick them when I did enter the transfer portal, because we still have those relationships. And even after I was doing bad in the SEC, and struggling, they hit me up and said, we're proud of you. You're going to get through this. And that's what ultimately helped me with my decision, because, they still believed in me. It feels good, you know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as I came in here, everybody, cheering me on, happy for me. And I know,
yeah, when I first saw that clip, I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Did he just say what I think he said?
I was doing bad in the SEC, and struggling. They hit me up and said, we're proud of you. You're going to get through this. And
he did. In other terms, if you don't understand the whole point of this and why it's a big deal and why it's trending all over social media, is because Caden Proctor just blatantly stated, oh yeah, Iowa, They reached out to me in the middle of the season when I was struggling at Alabama. You don't got to be a rocket scientist to figure out that you can't do that. That is the definition of tampering. If you were to go in the dictionary and look up what is tampering in college football, there'd be a video of this right here. And I got to throw this in here because you're going to have a couple people saying, oh, well, Matt's just mad that Caden Proctor left Alabama. And no, I'm not. I'm wishing the guy the best of luck, and y'all know how I feel about players and recruitment and all that stuff. I could care less if a guy doesn't want to go to Alabama and he wants to go to Georgia or wherever. Doesn't bother me. All I'm going to do is root for the guys that come to Bama. I got my own life, my own problems to worry about. The last thing I'm worried about is where Caden Proctor wants to play his college football at. It's one of those situations where if you want to play for Alabama, cool, let's go. All aboard the train. And if you don't want to play, well, it is what it is. No reason to get upset, and that's how I view things. Did want to clarify that for some people try to say, oh, well, Matt's just mad this guy's leaving. No, that's not the issue here. The issue with this is, according to the NCAA, you can't do this. And let me break this down to y'all why this is such a big deal and this shouldn't be allowed moving forward. Granted, there's nothing really you can do about it, but I'll explain to you why it's bad. If you don't listen to a single part of this video, please listen to this part. I want you to put yourself in Caden Proctor's shoes. Imagine you're Caden Proctor and you're starting for Alabama and you're struggling all throughout SEC play, a couple of false starts here and there, couple of holding calls, and it's just not a good season for you. You had all these high expectations for yourself and everybody's depending on you, and you're somewhat letting yourself and those people down. It goes without being said. Duh. Obviously, you're going to be feeling a little bit down on yourself. And then out of nowhere, keep in mind, this is in the middle of the season when you're struggling. You got former staff and coaches at Iowa texting you saying, hey, man, just keep your head up. We're proud of you. Hey, man, keep grinding. We love the player you're turning into. Stuff like that. You see where I'm going at with this, right? If not, I'll just come out and say it. It's manipulation at its finest. The staff at Iowa, they're not idiots. You think they just randomly reached out when he was doing bad? No, they did it on purpose to manipulate him. I don't like that because during the season, coaches from other teams and staffers, analysts, whatever you want to call them, they shouldn't be reaching out to these kids. And if you can't see the point I'm trying to get across here, I don't know how to dumb it down any more than that. Because you know what I was trying to insinuate with those messages. Hey, if you come here, you'll be the star player, man. We'll solve all the issues. And maybe manipulation is not the greatest word because it's not like he wasn't interested in Iowa. I think a better way to put it is they're going after someone when they're at a low point in their life. I don't know exactly what word or phrase you throw in there, but I think I'll get what I'm trying to say here. And we can debunk this whole theory that some people may try to bring up. Well, Matt, they were just texting them, checking up on them, sending them encouraging words. Really? Really? Are you going to try to pull it off? Same argument. It's not a coincidence they hit him up when he was struggling in the SEC. And whoa, hold on. Here's the kicker with all of this. If they were to send him those messages after a season, I'm fine with it. As soon as that Michigan game is over, if they were to send him those messages, completely fine with it. Because guess what? The season's over. It's time to reevaluate some things. But during the season, no, I don't like it a single bit. If you want to check up on a former guy that you were recruiting, can you not wait until after the season? That's my question. Let me know in the comment section. This is tampering at its finest, and the sad reality of the situation is the NCAA won't do anything about it, and I don't know if they can do anything about it moving forward. How are you going to prevent stuff like this happening, where a school is recruiting a guy, he's struggling, and they start reaching out back to him in the middle of his season? Because Iowa can argue and say that, hey, we was just making sure everything's going good with him, we liked him, and we was just checking up on him. And I get that perspective. But on the flip side, you got to look at it from Alabama's perspective, Nick Saban's perspective. Dude, why are you hitting up one of my players in the middle of the season? And I'm not a complainer. I'm not one of these victims in the world. No, I'm a problem solver. So with that being said, you know what I'm about to say next. How do we solve this? I genuinely don't even have a single idea or thought about how you would solve this. So let me know in the comment section what y'all think. What would you do? And you want to know the saddest part about all this? This is just one of the situations that we know about. Think about everything else that goes on behind the scenes. That's what's really scary about college football, because with the NIL, who knows what's going on. This was pretty much just a situation where a guy was getting checked up on in the middle of the season by a former team that was recruiting him. But imagine if you got a guy balling out somewhere like a, let's just say, Tulane or a South Alabama. Imagine all the big time schools hitting them up saying, hey man, if you were to do that here, we could get you $1 million NIL deal. Think about that. I'm telling you, it happens. It goes on. Eventually, these text messages and stuff like that, they're going to get leaked out. Crazy times in college football, crazy times. I could go on and on. I don't like this, but let me know in the comment section. How do you feel about it? Let me know your thoughts down below. But